PresentiGO is a next-generation presentation platform that takes a lot of the features of sales enablement and mixes it into the platform itself. PresentiGO, in essence, takes the functionality of a PowerPoint slide, an Excel spreadsheet, and a video game, and smashes it all together to one. So what you're able to do, and really when people ask, what's the problem that we solve? It's all about customer engagement. Now, in the audience right now, I'm wondering how many people are either currently in sales or have been in sales at some point in their life. A lot of people, right? I mean, that's really where the edge of the sword is for the companies. And people are getting less and less time with customers nowadays. And the reason why they're getting less time is because customers are very knowledgeable now. Customers know what they want before they even see you. So really, what's the goal of a salesperson? It's to increase the amount of time that you spend with your customers and for you to actually impact them, lowering the time of a selling cycle and increasing the overall revenue. And that's ultimately what the goal of PresentiGO is. We help companies grow revenue, and we do that through improving sales and marketing effectiveness, helping those two channels speak better together, being able to create material that is more impactful. We always follow a rule of show, don't tell. When you're actually presenting material, it's much better to show and not tell. And this really increases the overall customer engagement. A really good line that I found is, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember. If you think about the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, it really is. If you think about showing somebody a picture and having to say 1,000 words, how much time does it take for you to actually say 1,000 words? It's a lot longer than showing a picture. And if that's the case, then a 3D image is worth 1,000,000 words. Just a couple little facts that I wanted to make everybody kind of aware of that I'm sure that many of you are, but very important to think of from a marketing and sales standpoint. Facebook released a lot of their cumulative data earlier this year, and they showed that companies that were showing pictures and had content saw a 400-time increase in the engagement level with customers. It's very, very important. But it's not the only important thing for salespeople. Salespeople need to be able to not only show material, but also speak it. And a study out of the University of Alabama showed that if somebody had a verbal communication by itself, that there was good retention for the first 3 hours. And same thing with a visual indication. When you put those two together, that's when you saw impact. That's when you had recall. And most importantly, that's really how you're able to engage with customers and engage with even internal customers within your organization. The evolution of the presentation, really, what does it look like? Early on we found that handouts were very, very important, impactful, leave behind message. Microsoft came out with PowerPoint, structured presentations. All of a sudden it became very easy for an individual to create a presentation that was not only able to get the point across, but they were able to do it themselves. Prezi took the next step forward, and Prezi did a good job in creating non-linearity in presentations. What that really means is that you're able to jump out of the middle of a presentation, go somewhere else, and you don't have to follow that linear path of customers asking a question, you're saying, I'll get to it. PresentiGO really takes this to the next level. What we've done is we've added visual and dynamic interactive content to non-linearity. And really the best way that I can do that is to demonstrate for you. This is actually the platform itself. So I'm going to give you a couple of demonstrations of different types of technologies, different types of verticals that can really benefit from this. Now, we did this for Apple, just as hey, listen, we know you spend a lot of money advertising and creating content for the Apple Watch launch, but you can see that on this platform, it was not only very easy for us to create this, but this is built in the backbone of PowerPoint. So companies that are looking to actually create and demonstrate their products can do it a lot easier on the PresentiGO platform. The platform actually does have multiple patents on it. One of the patents is actually the life cycle of a presentation. So being able to have things like landscapes, being able to have different content like 3D and 3D graphs is very important and impactful. But then also 3D can really tell 1,000 words. If you're selling a product, being able to show that product, being able to actually demonstrate without bringing it in is very powerful. So I'm running short on time, so I'm going to go through a couple really quick ones. In terms of medicine, biotech, and pharma, you can actually do things like being able to show anatomy. And by the way, just in case everybody doesn't see this, I'm actually controlling this from my iPad. We're multi-platform. You can use this on a Windows device. We have we're also integrated with Salesforce. We just signed a new contract with a large kiosk company that can put these on 84-inch kiosks, and we're going to be doing this for the Rob Report for the Car of the Year coming up later in October. But really, there's many platforms that you can do this on, including real estate, which is one of our bigger companies that are one of the bigger verticals that we're working with right now. You can see that there's a lot of power that you can really control with 3D imaging within a presentation. So I know that I'm out of time, so that was a really quick 5 minutes. I hope that I did it justice. I'd like to answer any questions, but I'll leave our back-end platform up too so you guys can see that while you're asking. We do actually have our own GoToMeeting embedded in the presentation and trackable emails. So open it up to any questions.
So how would you differentiate yourself from something like BrainShark?
Yeah, so BrainShark, I mean, like their foundation is built off of video. You know, they said video is where we're going to base ourselves. So what we said is video is a great way for a lot of companies to get a point across, but video sometimes is not as engaging and interactive. So we built ours off of 3D content and interactivity. So our platform is actually, it's patented in a lot of these different areas because that's how we're going to build our verticals. Every single training, sales, marketing, everything's going to be built off of interactivity.
Just a follow-up question.
Sure.
Very pretty. What's the overhead in the background to make something like that?
It's actually extremely inexpensive. We act as a company. My co-founder is actually out of Prague. We own our own content company there too. You can make one of these slide decks, and there's a couple companies in the audience that have actually done this for anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 to make content this. It's not HTML5. It's really easy, inexpensive for companies to really engage with their customers.
So on the 3D image, being able to turn it, so if I want to create one of these, how do I go about doing that?
So there's two. Oh, sorry. There's two different ways to do that. One is our company offers that as a service. So if you don't have content makers that know how to create in 3D, we can do it for you. The other side is we do have tutorials on the website that show you how to take a normal 3D image to convert it and to put it into a PowerPoint presentation and to ultimately do that. But we've got lots of partners here in the US and abroad that are very well versed in creating these presentations.
So if this is in an HTML5, how is this going to play on other devices? Because HTML5 is how enabled it to run on Android web, iOS, things like that.
So we are platform agnostic. So the platform itself we have an Android version, Windows, everything. We're just finishing up our live web version in WebGL, which is going to be amazing. But because we're not coded in HTML5, it needs to go on our platform. So we're a SaaS model company with our sales enablement, so we can go. I mean, our lowest price is $10 a user. So I mean, like ultimately, it's very low overhead for somebody to be able to get this type of content.
Okay.
Do you have any plans on bringing it into like virtual reality?
Actually, yeah. There's two things we're working on right now. One is a virtual type of. That's definitely much farther down, but we actually just created a new Apple Watch version of this, where I wish that I had it today, but I'd be able to walk around here and present it from my phone, controlling it up on the screen. Any other questions? No?
What formats are supported 3D-wise, and what's the render?
So it's any vector files, anything that can. We usually use 3D Studio Max or Emma are typically what people are using, but it supports vector files. They're converted through a Unity back. And that's actually how it works to be able to put it into the presentations. And you know, it supports pretty much any size. We have an 84-inch kiosk that we've got a very high-res car that we use on there. So.
Last question.
Last question. Do I get it? Anybody? No? All right. Well, then I'm going to say this. One of the things that they asked was to tell what we're looking for to get out of the event, and ultimately it's really to get the word out about PresentiGO. But we are looking for funding. We believe strongly in the Boston community as the next B2B technology hub. We're looking for investors here in Boston so that we can stay a Boston-based company. And companies, really, anybody that needs to bring their stuff to the next level, we want to help. So, thank you very much.